In today's video, I teamed up with Ulta Beauty and I created this look. I love the way that it came out. I'm using many very affordable beauty brands. The eyeshadow palette that I used on my eyes today is $10, you guys. So I really tried to keep this video budget friendly focused. I am featuring some products that are part of the spring semi-annual beauty event that's happening right now at Ulta Beauty. And I'm focusing on this week during the event. So I looked at the list of products that are going to be on sale 50% off each day. There's a list of products that you can pick up at 50% off in store or online. I looked at this week and I kind of picked my personal favorites, products that I use and love, products that I can share my personal experience on, and I incorporated them into this video. And I'm also going to call out some other deals that you don't want to miss. So if you're not familiar with this event, it's a great time to stock up on some of your favorite products and also a great time to try new products. So every day, be sure and check the website or in store because they have deals at 50% off. So the products that I did include in this tutorial, I will list and note in the description box which ones are part of the event, and I will note the original price and the sale price. So let's get started. So I've already applied my foundation and my concealer. The foundation that I'm wearing today is the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. I really love this foundation because it gives the skin a really natural radiance. So I've got a little bit of a glow, but I don't feel overly shiny. What I love about this foundation is that it looks fresh all day. So I just applied it. It looks beautiful. It looks flawless, and it's going to look like this in 6 or 8 hours. It requires very little touch up, so I love that. The concealer that I'm wearing is the Bobbi Brown Skin Full Cover Concealer. This is part of the spring semi-annual event. So mark your calendars. This is going to be 50% off on the 21st. I love this concealer. It gives really full coverage and it's very hydrating. So a little bit goes a long way. You don't need to apply a lot of this. It blends out beautifully. I don't have any issues with it creasing or caking. It looks really natural even though you get full coverage. Love this one. So I'm going to go in with cream bronzer. This is from Milani, and this is the shade Spilling Tea. I'm just going to use an angled blush brush, and we're just going to warm up the skin with this product. Apply. I'm going to start right back here at the hairline, just kind of press it onto the skin. This has a nice amount of pigment where you have a lot of control. You're not going to apply too much, but you do see it on the skin. It's not too sheer. You can really build it up. This is a good color too for me. It's pretty warm. So this is a shade that I would use just for bronzing. This isn't necessarily a contour shade. What I like about this shade is it's one of those bronzers that could double as your blush and your bronzer. So if you're traveling, you don't want to pack a lot of product, I usually look for either a blush that can double as a bronzer or a bronzer that can double as a blush. And this would be a good one. And I'm going to just sweep it along my hairline as well to kind of warm up the whole face. Perfect. Next, we're going to go in and add some color to the cheeks. I'm going to be using the new e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush, and I picked up the shade Dusty Rose. I'm just going to apply a couple of dots of this right on the cheek, and I'm going to use the same brush to blend this out. Okay, so this has quite a bit of pigment, a little more than I expected. It's blending out nicely though. I'm not having any issues with it blending out. I probably applied a little too much, but I'm just going to kind of work it into the skin and see if I can correct. Ooh, this color is really pretty. It's a really pretty pinky peach, good color for spring. I'm going to kind of blend it up here into the temple. Whenever you've over applied blush, maybe you applied too much product or maybe you brought it over a little bit too far over, which I think I've done both in this case. I'm just going to take my foundation brush and I'm just going to kind of bounce it on the area that I want to minimize, which is right here. Kind of tone down the blush and just fix everything, make it look really nice and soft. To prep the eyes, I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize in the shade Champagne. Really excited that Ulta Beauty now carries Charlotte Tilbury. Charlotte Tilbury is one of my favorite brands. I just think all of the products that they make are just so nice, so beautiful. I'm just going to use my finger to sheer this out. What I love about these is I typically wear these as cream shadows, so I don't really layer powder shadow on top. Today I am going to layer powder shadow on top. I played with this e.l.f. palette a week or so ago and I got so many questions about it when I was on Instagram, so I thought I would do a little tutorial and kind of recreate the look that I had on. So the palette that we're going to be playing with today is $10. It's from e.l.f. This is the Rose Gold Nude palette. It comes with 10 eyeshadows and you get a good mix of shimmers, mattes. You have some warm shades in here, but you also have some cool shades. It leans very rose, kind of taupey, purpley, pinky shades. They're really beautiful. I'm going to go in first with this shade right here. We're going to work this into the crease just to create a little bit of definition and also give that cream shadow some time to kind of set and dry down. So I'm just going to go right here in that crease, just sweep this back and forth to create some definition. I like to tilt my brush up when I'm blending just to have that kind of shadow fade and upward and give more of like this halo effect above the crease. Perfect. Do you see what that does? It just gives a little bit of shape and definition to the eye. When choosing a shade for the crease, you want to look for something that's a couple shades darker than your skin tone. Ideally, you want it to be a matte formula because matte recedes light, shimmer reflects light. So if you have something real shimmery or frosty there in the crease, you're kind of defeating that purpose of creating definition. Instead, you're making that area look like it's protruding or coming out more. Or we want to do the opposite. We want that crease to look a little bit more defined, a little more deep set. Perfect. Okay, so now that we've got some shape and that cream shadow has dried, honestly, you could kind of leave this look as it is. There's really no need to go in and layer more shadow on top, but I do want to show you how I use this palette and created the look that I created last week. So I'm going to go in with this shade right here. It's this really beautiful, I'm going to show you here on my finger, really beautiful, shimmery, kind of purpley pink. It's so pretty. We're going to take the same brush. We're going to run the brush on its side. Running the brush on its side is going to help me pick up more product. It's a little stiffer, so it's really going to pick up more product and lay more product down, where the tip of the brush is fluffier and it's going to blend out. So I'm just going to use the side of the brush and we're just going to pat that onto the lid. See how pretty that is? It's so gorgeous. Press, press, press. Next, we're going to go into this kind of deep taupe shimmery shade, and we're going to use the tip of the brush and we're going to apply this right on the outer corner of the eye. Just kind of press the brush down and kind of work back and forth, but I'm not moving my brush across the eye too much. I'm really concentrating this shade just right there in the outer corner. This is just going to give a little bit more depth there. I don't want to take it in the crease though. I really just want to keep that right on the outer corner of the lid. Okay, perfect. Do you see what that does? It just gives a little bit more definition, a little more dimension to the eye. So what we're doing is we're playing with texture here, and we're also playing with like light and darker shades. Perfect. To line the eyes, we're going to go in with the LA Girl Shockwave eyeliner. This is the metallic eyeliner. It's the shade Brown Sugar. And I'm going to run this right here on the outer part of the eye. And you're not going to really see it too much here on the upper lid because the shade itself is not too dark. It's actually kind of more on the lighter brown side. So when you lay it on the shadow, you don't really see it too much, but that's okay. We're still going to use this liner, and we're going to use the waxiness of the pencil to give the eyeshadow that we're about to place on top of here something to grip to. But we are going to also line the lower lash line with this liner. And this liner is the perfect lower lash line liner. It's not too dark, but you still get some definition, and it has a metallic shimmery finish to it. So it gives just a little bit of a softer look on the lower lash line, which I really like. Okay, then we're going to go into this palette. We're going to grab the deepest shade, and I'm using a flat wide smudger brush, and I'm going to load the brush up on both sides. We're going to just tap off any excess just so we don't have a lot of fallout since this is a dark shade. And we're just going to run the tip of that right over where we applied that kohl pencil just to deepen it and kind of smoke it out. Now remember, because that kohl pencil is soft and waxy, once I put the shadow on, it's just going to work like glue and it's going to grab that shadow. You don't have to be perfect with this. What I love about this technique is you really don't have to be perfect. You can just shadow and shade it a little bit, and it's just going to blend into the shadow we've already applied. So you don't have to be a pro. You don't have to be real experienced in makeup. You can literally just have the right products and the right tools, and they'll do all the work for you. Okay, lovely. I'm going to take that same brush. I'm going to kind of run it on a dry tissue just to get most of that dark color off. Then I'm going to go in with this shade right here. It's a really beautiful, light, shimmery bronze, lighter than the first one we did and warmer than the first one we did. But I'm going to use this one, and we're going to do the same thing, but on the lower lash line. What I'm doing now is I'm setting that kohl pencil, and I'm also smoking and softening the line. We want really soft lines. We don't want anything to look harsh or stark around the eyes. Okay, so I'm going to go and set the center of the face with a little powder. I'm using this loose powder from Bobbi Brown. This is the Sheer Finish Loose Powder, and this is the shade Pale Yellow. So what this is going to do is it's just going to set the foundation. It's going to slightly mattify the skin, and it's also going to slightly brighten the skin. So I'm going to start right here on the nose just so that I get most of the powder off the brush onto the skin here. Once I've done that, then I'll go under the eyes. I always like to set under the eyes with powder, but I don't like to use too much powder. So keep that in mind. The first place that you put your brush on the skin is where you're going to deposit the most product. So that's why I like to start here and then go under the eyes. And I really just set where I need to. I don't powder all over the face. I really just powder where I need to, which is under the eyes and then right around the nose and the mouth. This is where I tend to produce the most oils. So 5, 6, 8 hours later, when I look in the mirror, if I don't set properly, I'll notice that my foundation just looks a little patchy, or it's moving, or it's settling in texture in the skin. So the powder is going to help prevent that. Next, we're gonna coat the lashes and really build up the lash. And I'm really excited to share this deal. The Lancome Lash Idol Mascara is gonna be 50% off on the 15th, the day that this video goes live, you guys. So you can grab this for 50% off. I always say that this is a great time to stock up on your mascaras or your products that you know are products that you continue to purchase and they're repeat purchases. Grab 2 or 3 maybe. This is such a great lengthening mascara. What's really unique about this formula too is it's very lightweight, so it actually helps keep the lashes curled and lifted throughout the day. Sometimes mascara can be a little heavier in formula, and so you might curl your lashes and then later you look at your lashes, you know, maybe a few hours later and you notice they're not as lifted and curled as they once were, and it's because the mascara you're using can weigh them down. So this one does not do that. I also love that it has a slightly curved wand to it and tiny little teeth. So this helps curl, lift the lash. It also helps separate the lashes. This is a really beautiful, beautiful lengthening mascara. You're gonna get some volume from this too, but I say this is for those of you that have great volume and you really just want long, separated lashes, because you will get that from this mascara. And I'm gonna do a couple of coats. What I like to do is kind of work on each lash. And once I feel like I have one eye done, then I'll go and do the second, and then I'll always come back and do one last little coat on each eye once the mascara's had time to set a little bit. If you want to get the most impact from your mascara, here's a little tip for you. I've shared this a lot, but if you're newer to my videos, you might not have heard it. So place it right at the root of your lashes and kind of close your eye, like rest your eye on the wand. Wiggle it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then pull up, and then pull up. So what you're doing there is you're getting a lot of the product off right at the root of your lashes, and then you're pulling it through the lash. You're just gonna get more impact than just going to the lash like this over and over and over. Really place it there, wiggle it back and forth, get that product off the wand onto the lash, and then pull up. This formula is really nice too because it's not too volumizing, that it works really well on the lower lash line. I know some people prefer to skip mascara on the lower lash line. I got that question recently on if you should skip it or apply it. I always apply it, but the reason that I do it is because I really like dramatic upper lashes. Like I really build my upper lash to be as long and voluminous as possible. So for me, skipping the lower lashes, it just doesn't look balanced. So I'll put a small little coat on the lower lashes, but I definitely want to avoid being too heavy-handed or applying too much mascara on the lower lashes. 1, because it can just look heavy on the eye, but 2, you're gonna run the risk of smudging, flaking, and just kind of raccoon eyes at the end of the day. I get questions about that a lot, and that is a hard one to address because it could be your mascara, it could be your eyeliner, it also could be your concealer just warming up throughout the day and the oils from your skin breaking down the makeup that's touching it. So if you have a lot of mascara layered on your lower lashes, that's likely gonna happen. So I like to apply some, but I like to apply a very small amount. And I'm also careful with the formula that I use. This is a really good formula because it's lightweight and because this wand allows you to just lightly coat them. It's not messy, you're not gonna over apply it. The wand is nice and clean. You know what I mean? Do you ever pull out mascara wands sometimes and you pull out the wand and there's just like gobs and gobs of mascara on it? That's not the case with this. So it stays really nice and clean and it allows you to really separate each lash. So again, you can grab this today, you guys, for $15. It's normally $30. So grab a tube, grab a couple if you want to stock up. It's a great time to stock up on your mascara. To prep the lips, I'm going to apply a little bit of like a hydrating lip balm. This is the Jane Iredale Lip and Cheek Stain. These are also on sale. You can get these at 50% off on the 19th. So these normally retail for $32. You can pick it up for $16. And these can be used on the lips or the cheeks. It feels like a lip balm, but it actually gives some color and stains the lips. This one is the shade Forever Peach. I believe the promo is for all the shades though, so I'll list some of my favorites down below. I'm just going to do a light layer of this. This is going to kind of warm up the lips, give a little bit of a peach tone to it, but I am going to apply the new Milani lip stain on top of this. Do you see the color this is giving though? It's really nice. So these are normally $32 and you can grab them for $16 right now. This is the Milani Color Fetish Hydrating Lip Stain. And this is the shade Rose Rising 130. I'm actually going to skip lip liner today and I'm just going to apply this. This is my first time playing with this. I am really excited to try them. Milani sent me a few of these shades. I like to have a little lip balm before. This says it's a hydrating lip stain, but I like to always prep with a little bit of a lip balm first. So I like to coat the lower lip and kind of blot and press together. Now, what I like about the wand on this Milani lip stain is you've got a nice point to it. So since I skipped a lip liner, I'm going to use the point of this to kind of line the lips. Okay, this feels very hydrating for a lip stain. It really does. Like the formula feels a little more balmy. It feels light and liquidy like a lip stain, but it definitely feels more moisturizing. This is a nice color too. Nice kind of medium pink rosy shade. Okay, so now that the makeup's complete, I'm gonna set everything. I'm gonna go in with the Benefit POREfessional Super Setter Setting Spray. This is 50% off tomorrow on the 16th. In addition to the POREfessional Primer, so you can pick these both up at 50% off tomorrow at Ulta Beauty. This is one of my favorite primers to really blur the skin, kind of erase the appearance of pores. It's one of the OG pore primers. You put this on, and I like to really concentrate this just in the areas that I need it. So I tend to have more larger pores right here on the cheeks, and then a little bit on the forehead between the brows. So what I'll do is I'll apply my normal skincare, and just before applying my foundation, I'll go in and apply this. So if you can pick this up tomorrow at 50% off. You can also grab the setting spray as well. So what I love about this setting spray is it's very lightweight. The mist on it is very refined. You can see it's a very refined micro mist. This is not only going to lock in makeup, but it's also going to help the appearance of pores, so really smooth the skin and just make everything looks nice and smooth. And it feels weightless. You know when you use some setting sprays and the mechanism is just sprays a lot of product on the face and it feels very wet? This does not feel that way at all. It feels very, very light, and it dries and absorbs pretty quickly. So this is the finished look. I'm going to list and link all the products with the shade names down in the description box below. I'll also list and note which products of what I used are part of the spring semi-annual beauty event at Ulta Beauty happening right now. So I'll list like which you can pick up at 50% off this week, and I'll list the date. A few other products that I didn't get to talk about in this video, but that I did want to call out that are part of the event happening this week at Ulta Beauty that you can pick up at 50% off is the viral Peter Thomas Roth Instant Firmex Eye Tightener. So I'm sure you guys have seen this. There was a video that circulated a couple years ago that was like pretty impressive. This is an instant eye firmer. If you have a lot of like texture or crepiness under the eye and you apply this, you can literally see it disappear within a matter of minutes. The caveat to this is that you want to kind of keep makeup very, very light. So this is really great for the days where you're not wearing a lot of makeup, or if you are going to apply concealer after applying this, apply this and really let it set and give a good amount of time before you go in and apply your concealer. I have found when I use this, I really don't need a ton of concealer, but if you do, like I said, give it a good 10-15 minutes and then apply a very, very minimal amount of concealer. So this is 50% off on the 17th, so I wanted to make sure and call that out for you guys because I know that many of you love this product. Another product that I wanted to share is the IT Confidence in a Cream. This is going to be 50% off on the 19th. This is a really great OG moisturizer. I say OG because I've been using this for years and years. This is a very rich cream. I actually keep this here at my studio because when I film videos back to back and I have to wash my face, you can imagine that my skin feels really dry and it just kind of takes a beating. So I love to go and apply this on the days that my skin is just really dry and I just need that extra hydration and moisture. The formula is pretty rich. So at home, this would be something I would use at night personally, but if you have really dry skin, this could be your day and your nighttime moisturizer. And this is 50% off, you guys. So the normal price of this is $59 and you can pick it up for $29.50 on the 19th. And the last deal that I wanted to call out was on the 17th. You can pick up Hot Tools, styling tools, 50% off. And there's a variety of different tools that I believe will be on sale. So the price in the deals range. But if you're looking for a new styling tool, this would be a great time to pick it up as well. There are some other hair care products that are included this week that are going to be 50% off. I really kind of wanted to curate my list of top picks from what I saw that was going to be part of the promotion this week and share them with you guys. So I'll have them all listed and linked down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.